What we have here is a Landis K12 shoe sole machine. I disassembled it partially just because it's heavy. It's around 500 pounds. So I took a number of the components off. It came out of a running shoe repair shop. And I'm going to take a few more shots showing some of the linkages moving. Everything's free, everything's been kept oiled except for the cams. The cams are a little bit dry here, and it's just the cam surfaces. But everything else has been lubed and maintained. I removed the motor, for weight, and removed the tray. And there's the top cover. There's one of the flywheel handles. There's where your thread spools are. He left the thread in place so that you can pull that thread through and re-thread it. Okay, we're looking at a Landis K12 shoe soling machine again. I'm trying to show it functioning. The surfaces right here are actually mechanical cam grooves, and they need oiled. I didn't want to oil them up for transport, but there's a cam that rides in here and it performs functions for shifting components. So you'll hear a little bit of noise from them, but they do need oiled on all four of these cam surfaces. Bring this up here a little bit. But everything's free. There's a number of functions in here that I know nothing about. I bought this to make knife sheaths and found out that it won't do exactly what I was hoping to do. But as you can see, everything functions. I'm going to window in, but right here is the hook needle. The bottom one comes up from the bottom and pierces. So right now that's the piercing needle. That pre-cuts the hole, and then the upper curved needle comes down right there and sews through approximately ½ an inch of leather for the sole of a shoe. Leather, rubber, whatever it is. So this is just showing everything is functioning fine. Just a matter of putting the motor back on and threading it and oiling it up and good to go. Okay, this is a little closer view to view the sewing mechanism. Okay, that needle right there that just came up is the piercing hook needle. That pre-cuts the hole so that the needle can go in with the thread. The next thing you're going to see coming down right there is the hooked sewing needle. So as you can see, everything's functioning perfectly. You know, anyone who is planning on getting into this is going to understand that they're going to have to get a manual, and they're going to have to learn how to thread it and put the motor back on it. But it's a perfectly functioning piece of machinery that will run for the next 100 years. I'm going to show you a couple of spots, but everything on this machine has oiling, bearing oiling caps. It's kind of hard to point to it. But every shaft, every bearing, there's one right here, has a spot to drip oil in and keep this machine running for the next 100 years. Okay, what I have here is one of the, probably the most pristine Singer 1591 that I've ever worked on. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you extra heavy duty upholstery. It's over 1/4 inch thick, 4 layers. This is not standard upholstery material. I've got upholstery, I think it's 69 thread and approximately a 20 size needle. And I threaded the bottom thread with blue, the top thread with white. That way when you sew it, you can see if it's tensioned correctly and running correctly. Sews without hesitation. And as you can see, I'm going to try and zoom in kind of close here. Perfect stitches, all blue on the front,